Yeah, what's going on, good people? Welcome to another episode of the 710 The Slickville Show. I am your host, Jay Brown, a.k.a. Mr. 710, and we are glad to be back up in y'all living rooms once again. Yo, this is going to be an exciting show. I'm excited today, but it's for a weird reason. I'm excited because I got a chance to see Fear firsthand, but we're going to get to that. But before I get going, guys, this is an interactive show. So like, share, comment, call in. The phone number is 470-251-4343. And we want to thank everybody for watching via the Status Network app, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, YouTube Live, Roku, and the Amazon Fire Stick via the Status Network app. Also, we want to thank all of you good people, and we want to say much appreciation to everybody that's out there listening to the podcast, sharing it as well on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else that you all listen. We thank you so much. And if you hadn't already done it, go ahead and download, subscribe, rate 5 stars so that y'all won't be no haters in these streets. We greatly appreciate that. But all right. On today's show, we're going to do since last week. As always, we're going to talk about fear. And then I'm going to tell you a couple things that I'm scared of. Give you the behind the curtains look at your boy. All right. So let me go. Where we go? Since last week, Halloween passed. And, just what Halloween, as you get older, it ain't about you no more. Of course, they have Halloween parties and whatnot, and those are always cool. But yeah, it was cold. It didn't start off cold, but it ended off cold. When we got up this morning to take the kids to school, it was 75 degrees. I was like, if it stay like this, we gonna have a good day. And then it rained, and it took the temperature down about 30 degrees, it felt like. But listen, this is the first Halloween I celebrated with these kids. Second one as a foster parent, but the first Halloween we didn't get a chance to celebrate because the foster kid that we had kept getting suspended from school, so couldn't do that. So this is my first Halloween as a parent. Let me start there. So we had a Power Ranger, we had Batman, and we had a unicorn. And my Power Ranger was complaining. He complained about everything. He complained about how long it was going to take for me to get him from the house to the candy. Now we going to the mall, so I'm gonna let you know, like, it's not right around the corner, but it ain't far. It's not far at all. And he was complaining because I'm like, listen, you going to complain about being cold here in a minute. And then we're going to have a different problem because you just wanted to wear your little costume. Okay. Cool. Then he started complaining. So we got to the mall. And on the way to the mall, he's asking, what's taking so long? And I'm like, do you see anybody out here trick-or-treating? First off, it's 5 o'clock. Nobody's at home. But secondly, nobody is out here trick-or-treating because it's kind of cold. Get to the mall. We didn't even get in the mall. He saw somebody with his costume. Now he's if there's some ladies in here, let me know. Let me know what is the big deal when you go to a place and you see somebody wearing your outfit. I need somebody to help me out with that, just from the standpoint of it's usually a problem. It's usually some kind of problem when you see somebody with your outfit on. But I've digressed. Saw a couple Batmans. We ain't seen any other unicorns, and I don't even know if baby girl was a unicorn, but because she ain't had a little thing on because it didn't fit her head. But we saw about 5 Power Rangers. We saw about 4 Batmans. And course, you try to give them rules like, listen, hey, this is how Halloween is going to go. You're going to say trick or treat, and you're going to say thank you to everybody. If you miss one, trick or treating's over. We're done. That got them right. They made sure they said it to everybody. They was even so nervous about that, they asked if their little sister had to say it. And I was like, if she don't say it, you better say it for her. That's how we get right. That's how we get them right in these streets. What's up, Ma? How's everybody doing in these streets? Guys, if you haven't shared this feed, go ahead and share it for me already. And then we got hit with that daylight savings time. That daylight savings time has messed me up because I am one that do not stay up late very often unless I'm doing something. I have to be out, and right now that daylight savings time is killing you, boy, because everything in the evening seems like it's taking longer. Like everything I have to do seems like it takes longer for me to get there. But today it was cool because I felt like I had time. I didn't have to rush to the station. But like we get up, daylight savings morning, and the little guy, number one, he was just fiending to play the game, fiending to play this video game. I normally don't let him play until after 10 o'clock. Like, dude, wake up, brush your teeth, do something constructive with your life before you just hop right on the game. And he was just fiending, and he looked at the clock, and the clock said 9:30, and he was just rearing up. He was like, ooh, in about 30 minutes, I'm going to ask, can I play the game? And it's already going to be after 10, so he can't tell me no. He ain't going to tell me no. I know he not going to tell me no. When I saw him look at the time, I went in there and I was like, oh, it's daylight savings time. Let me run that thing back. He finally went back and looked at the clock about a little bit over 30 minutes later, and it said 9:09 again. And he was like, wait, how? Mr. Jason, something's wrong with the time. Ain't nothing wrong with that time. The time is right. You see it say it on my cell phone. It said on the tablet. The time is correct. But it was just 9:30 minutes ago. Yeah, man, daylight savings time. You got to wait. If you're trying to play the game, you got to wait till after 10. It's kind of bogus on that. I was kind of bogus, but I got paid back because their bedtime took forever. Their bedtime seemed like it took forever. Like I was getting sleepy, and I'm still trying to figure out, it's still not time for us to send them to bed yet. Like, I got to figure this out. I still got to get them to bed but it's only 7:30. And I'm struggling, baby girl acting crazy. You know, number two, he'll fall asleep anywhere. He doesn't care. But that murdered me. That got me good. That definitely got me good. Let's start a watch party, however we're going to do it. But look, let's get on to this fear. But before I get it, it was a story. It was a story that made me think about this topic. So, number one is in boxing. Number one's been in boxing since about a month after. So, it's probably about 8 months he's been in boxing. And he's been asking, everybody's been saying, like, yo, he has a gift. He's ready. He's good. I want him to join the boxing team. And so we're like, yeah, you know, it's all fine and dandy, but the boxing team requires a different level of payment. And I don't know if he really loves it yet. Because you got to love boxing. Boxing not something that you can just half-heartedly do. Like, you got to love it. For one, punches coming back at you once you get to a certain point. I don't care. It's not just training anymore. You're not just hitting the heavy bag at this point. You got punches coming back at you. And so he finally had his time to spar, but they was putting him up against one of the boys that he had watched spar before. It was his buddy. And he was like, yeah, me and Tyler, we're going to spar on, let's say Thursday. Okay, cool. Y'all, I'll stay for that. I'm going to watch that. I want to see how you do just to make sure that you love this like you say you do. I mean, we done had talks about lying. He done came home talking about how he beat dude up, and it didn't go down like that. But I go picked him up from daycare, and he's playing and wrestling on the floor. He's in a full sweat, and I'm like, okay, so he ready. By the time we got home, he had a headache and a stomach ache. He was like, yo, you got both of them? The headache and the stomach ache, when this happened? Well, I don't know why my head's hurting, but I skipped lunch today, so I hadn't really ate. All right, so go in there and get you something to eat right quick so I can take you to boxing. At least if only your head hurts, you'll still be all right. You done boxing class with the headache before, so we good. He was like, oh, but I really don't want to go today. And a tear came out his eye, just a single tear. And I was just like, oh, I know what this is about. This is about boxing. You don't want to get beat up. No, that's not it. I just really don't want to go today. You scared you're going to get beat up. You can tell me if you scared you're going to get beat up, and it's okay. It's going to be okay. But you're going to go. Fell out crying. He had tears all over. I'm talking about like legit tears. Like the emoji with the 2 streams of tears. Like he had that one a whole bunch of times. And so I'm like, listen. So this was actually a Tuesday. He was going to already miss Thursday because of Halloween. So he's like, go ahead and suck it up and go to this class, and then we'll figure it out. Yeah, he did think he was going to get smacked. And this was the problem. And so I was just like, listen, man, I gave him the dopest speech about not knowing what you can do until you actually get in there and do it. And you might just be scared for no reason. Because I'm pretty sure you faster than this boy. If you think, you look like you smarter than him, so you could probably outsmart him too. Let's figure it out, man. One of the biggest basketball games I ever played in. I was nervous. My leg was shaking. I was scared to get in the game, and then I got in the game and started making a whole bunch of three-pointers. Got the game-winning steal and everything. I told him that story. It was a damn good story, too. I'm talking about I had the emotions in it and everything. He get out the car, he go into class. Turns out the other boys said he had a stomach issue too. I was like, y'all both either scared of each other or y'all plan to be hurt and scared and sick all at the same time. But that made me think about fear because he was scared. He was legit scared to the point of tears. He didn't want to necessarily admit that he was scared of getting beat up. But after the class, he told me that Tyler had knocked out some kid or beat him up real bad. And I was like, that's why you didn't want to spar today. But I don't think either one of y'all wanted to spar. Now, you could have concocted a plan that had him the one. That had him as the person that was like, you know what, let's both say our stomach hurts so we don't have to fight. Let's do that. I told his boxing coach, I was like, man, I don't know if number one really want it. I really don't. I mean, he might look like it to y'all, man, but it's something up here. It's a mental block. He had that thought about a punch coming back at him. And he was at home like, oh, my head, my stomach, my neck, and my back. Like he was hurt. Everywhere was hurting. He had every injury all of a sudden. And so when I tell you he was a different kind of scared, it made me think of those fears. And I had one question about fear as we get into it. I mean, and I'm not the smartest person. I could have done some research. Are people born with particular fears, or do they learn those fears? And part of the answer, I feel like some people learn to have certain fears, like my fear of roller coasters, which we'll talk about, was something that was learned. I had a bad experience, and so we'll get to that. But I had to look up fear, and there's a bunch of different acronyms for it, but it was like an unpleasant feeling triggered by the perception of danger, real or imagined. And that boy had a perception of danger that he was going to get knocked out, which is embarrassing. I get it. Don't nobody ever want to be the person that's knocked out. I don't know why people still fight with all these camera phones around. Other than fear of being on World Star goes out the window. Like, you know that if you out here fighting, that it's a possibility that somebody's recording it. And if you ain't that dude, or even if you are that dude, but on that day you the wrong dude, you can catch that good L. Sergey Kovalev got knocked out this weekend in the worst way. Don't nobody want that. But the acronyms, I found they got a bunch of different acronyms. 2 of them negative, 1 positive. Or however you want to take it. False evidence appearing real. Forget everything and run. Face everything and rise. Yeah, all of those things sound great until you dealing with that level of fear. Like I feel the fear. I've seen the fear that he felt when I watched old Mike Tyson highlights, and you will see the person standing across the ring from Mike Tyson, and they'll have this look in their eyes like, yo, I really don't want to be here. I really, really don't want to be here. If I had this video queued right now, there was a heavyweight fight not too long ago where fear was a good thing. This guy got in the ring, and he looked like he was a little pudgy, a little out of shape. He was standing across from a guy that was in shape and ready. It wasn't Anthony Joshua and Ruiz. It was 2 black dudes. And right as the bell got ready to ring, they had said all they did the rules, touch gloves, and go to your corners. He touched gloves, went to his corner, and dude left the ring. He was just like, all right, I'm going to be out. He left the ring. As the opening bell, he climbed back out the ropes and walked back down. This was a nationally televised fight. And he did that. And I tell you, is that fear or just being smart? Because here's the deal. Like, I enjoy boxing. But I couldn't imagine myself doing it unless I'm just trying to get in shape. Unless I'm just sparring. And I got to spar with rules. Like, hey, don't be out here trying to make a name on me. Like, you just there for me to throw exercise punches back at you. This ain't what it is. Don't think you getting ready to just knock me out. No. This ain't what I'm here to do. So for somebody to, like, part of your job description is get punched, you have to love it. You have to love boxing in that way. Because part of the thing with boxing is you just can't be all right. You can't just be average. This ain't one of those sports, you can't even call it a game. It ain't a game. You don't play boxing. Like, you fight. It's a fight. But if you all right, you just all right, and you're not amazing or great, then you're going to get beat upside your head in the most immaculate of ways, in the most spectacular of ways. Sergey Kovalev was a great boxer at one point in time, and he just got destroyed this weekend in the most spectacular of ways. No, not gonna be me. Couldn't be me. And getting knocked out of course, you do research on this stuff and you try to figure out what are the most common fears. Getting knocked out did not make the list. Not sure who all they polled, but getting knocked out in public should be on the top of a lot of people's list. But public speaking was one that popped up a bunch of times. Glossophobia. I'm gonna try to say some of these phobias. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I'm not Siri or anybody like that. But I felt that it'd be cool for me to try to figure out how to say some of these words. But public speaking, I remember when I did not like to speak in front of people. I did not like to talk in front of people. It made me nervous because I was like, what if I don't sound cool? Oh, well. I mean, shoot. You still got to hear me. Fear of heights. Acrophobia. I'm trying to figure out, am I scared of heights? Like Curtis Harper and Jabai guy. Okay, yeah. Dude got about the ring. Fear of heights. Am I scared of heights? I don't think so. Am I one to be like, yo, let me take a job climbing on people's roofs? No. Well, Sheridan and Leo in there talking about she's definitely scared of heights and spiders. That was the next one, arachnophobia. And entomophobia is the fear of bugs and insects. And the crazy thing about that, like, my wife has a fear of the water bugs, the wood bugs, the big joints. She was scared to the point where she almost killed herself and the dogs trying to spray it with wasp spray. Like, she sprayed that much, like tried to empty the clip, except it was an aerosol can full of toxic fumes in a small enclosed space. Like, when I went in there to pick it up, I'm like, baby, how much did you just spray? Like, all you got to do is just get this spray close to it, and it'll kill it. Like, you don't have to drown these bugs with this spray. Like, don't spray. Yeah, the big roaches. Yeah, you ain't got to drown it. Just spray it. Just get it close to it. Just get it in the vicinity, and it's going to kill it. I promise. Let me see. We got spiders, mice, height, and bees. Almost had an accident trying to escape a bee. I figure you say bee and not bed. You got to be more careful, Tarsha. All right, the fear of darkness. Hey, do y'all remember what age did y'all stop being afraid of the dark? Or some of y'all still scared of the dark? Some of y'all adults still need that nightlight on. Or is the scariest haunted house the one that's completely dark? Because y'all still scared of the dark. The fear of zombies, kinemorphotopia, whatever. However you say it. I know I was going to get one wrong. I don't think I would be afraid of zombies just because I know that they're not real. Like, if I felt like they were real, then it would probably be a chance that I would be scared of them. But I watch so much Walking Dead that I feel like I will be able to survive. Like, I'm definitely sure I will be able to survive. The fear of small spaces, claustrophobia. No, I'm only scared if I feel like I'm stuck. And now that I'm a little bigger than I ever was, spaces that I felt like I would get stuck in, I probably would be scared of. Left-hand rookie scared of clowns. There was a movie that came out when I was younger, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Oh, he said he hate clowns. He'll roll up on you and fight. He'll fight a clown. That's hilarious. I did not know that. That's my brother. I did not know that. fear of speed, roller coaster sledding. Would you be scared of the takeoff on planes, when planes take off? Let me know about that. The fear of flying. Now that we get to that, aviophobia. I like flying. So that don't. I hadn't came across that one. The fear of drowning, aquaphobia. Yeah, I can swim, but I remember one time I got pulled under the water unexpectedly by somebody else's kid that almost got thrashed. That was scary. That was scary because this dude had jumped on the back of my. I was swimming backwards, and he jumped from behind me on top of my head and pulled me underwater. And when I tell you, I thought it was the end. You start drinking water, you forget that you cannot breathe underwater. You start inhaling, you got all the little spicy feeling at the back of your head. I don't know how to describe it other than spicy. Like, that's what it is. But, no, man. So I feel that one. Don't nobody want to drown. I feel like that's a horrible way to go. Trypanophobia. That's the fear of blood and needles. I gotta look. I'm one of those people, I might be weird, but I gotta look. Like, don't tell me to look away when you about to stab me. I gotta make sure that your aim is correct. Because it's nothing worse than having that lady or dude that'll come up here and give you a shot and then they miss and gotta do it again. Like, no. We're not doing that one. I gotta watch you. That's spicy. Yeah, I gotta watch you. I'm sorry. I gotta see. I gotta make sure you know what you're doing. If you're not confident with this needle, we got a problem. We have a problem. And some of the weird ones, though, they said bizarre phobias that's out there. Nomophobia, the fear of being out of phone service or unable to charge your phone, which that would seem like it would be fairly common now, just based on how much everybody uses that technology. Anemophobia, the fear of wind. I mean, well, damn. If you don't go outside, like if wind scare you, it's gonna be a struggle like existence. Like I'm not sure what it would be for anybody to do about that. And that's one of the ones that I would think that somebody would have to be born with that, as opposed to necessarily learning to be scared of wind, unless they was born in a tornado or something. I'm not sure. Fear of missing out, FOMO. Tasha got problems. She got whole problems. Bruh. And then ablutophobia, the fear of cleaning, washing, or bathing. I feel like I got a couple of those kids in my house that got ablutophobia. Because they don't like cleaning nothing, they don't like washing nothing, and they don't like bathing nothing. That explains everything. I'm here now. I'm ready. This is dope. I never have to worry about why they don't do this again. That explained everything. I didn't think about that until I just started talking about it. Let me ask y'all this. My mama is in here, and it don't even matter, but at this point, and my dad is in here. At what point, because we're going to move past the clinical stuff, and we're going into real life, that real life stuff that we have fears about. When did you stop being afraid of what your parents thought? Or what your parents were going to do? My mom is in here, she listening. My dad is in here, he listening. if I'm being 100% honest, after I moved out, this is after college. After I moved out, probably, I think Korea was the first time that I was just like, she just gonna have to deal with it. That was with my mom's. Dad was a little earlier than that, but it wasn't, he didn't care. I'm not gonna read that, Julie. But let me see. When we didn't worry about physical punishments, like it was after that time that my brother and I made that pact that we wasn't gonna cry no more. It was a little while after that. We ain't crying no more when we get whoopings. And at that point, we were straight. We straight. Like, we ain't worried about the whoopings hurting, then we're good. The thing was, you know, all the other stuff, all the other fussing that we had to deal with. And so when we talk about this real life stuff, when we talk about fear not necessarily being a bad thing, but should be a good thing. I don't know if anybody heard this, but as recently as this week or late last week, McDonald's CEO got let go for having a work relationship. McDonald's CEO had a base salary of $1.3 million. Listen, if I'm working somewhere and I'm making $1.3 million and one of the rules was you can't date nobody you work with, but you fired. You have to go. Baby, understand when I'm letting you go that you still gonna get a chance to enjoy all of this life if you that serious. Or let me go find you another job so I can get this in. How can we make this work? It's easy. Go get you another job. As a matter of fact, put me down as a reference. Put me down as a reference so that I can make sure you get this job, that you making a comparable salary with comparable benefits, so that we can make that thing happen. But what do you do, sir? You just gotta hit it. I gotta hit it. Ain't nobody gonna find out.
Wrong.
Come on, man. Like, Julian just put in the chat, that's a $1 million box. That's $100 million. It had to be $100 million worth of wolf right there. Not one, but $1 million worth of wolf. Plus all the other money that you was probably getting on the side. I don't know, ain't no wolf worth $1 million. Not to blow. Not to break rules, folks. I'm sorry. If you got it, no. And it ain't gonna be able to do it. Shout out to Jalen Rose. I can't do it. I won't do it. Because that just makes no sense. I would have a fear of losing my job over some wolf that ain't worth $1 million per year. Unless that wolf is bringing $2 million. Hey, yeah, but she probably got fired too. So there, boom. But since we're talking about relationships, and that one just probably failed in some way, shape, or form. When we talk about relationships, it's a lot of fears that goes into them, and it's a lot of fears that people use coming out of them. And the fear of that a lot of people have with settling down a little older in life is, do I really want to settle? Is this person really the one I've been waiting on? I have a fear of being single for this long or any longer. Yo, it's crazy. So when you finally meet somebody, his range is 8 to 22 million. Wow. So when you finally meet somebody, you bring all those fears with you into your next relationship, or do you check them at the door? Because something is up in you telling you, it's an innate response, telling you when something ain't right. Or is it? Or is it just something that's in your mind that got you all jacked up? Where's Tina? Where Tina at? Because she normally calls when we start talking about relationships out here on this thing. But, you know, we talk about, hey, find somebody out here that's truly single. They ain't talking to nobody until they met you. Most people not. They have a fear of cutting that roster loose. Hey, women got rosters, dudes got rosters. I'm talking to both of y'all. I don't care. Like, y'all got rosters. Some women got the food roster, and some dudes got the bedroom roster. My bad. Not really. But it's a fear of trimming that roster because maybe one of them three was going to act right next week. On either side. One of them was going to step up and tell you how he really felt before the other ones did. And your fear is it the one that I really want to say yeah? Or is it the one that I'm just dangling along because he gives me what I need in that moment? Dudes be having that fear of posting that first picture of his new girlfriend. Hey, it is what it is. I know I lost some followers when I posted my wife not too long ago. It's cool. I can't do nothing about that. I mean, it is what it is. There are people out here that struggle with the fear of leaving a toxic relationship. Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. 'Cause it's not always gonna be roses and everything like that, but you also know when it's not healthy. You got people out here that's fearful of being in a relationship that might work. And every time they be around this person, and they still find a way to push that person away. I didn't like his throat. I don't like the way, whatever. I don't like the way he chew his food. But it happens. It happens all the time. And what a lot of people end up doing when they fearful of getting out of toxic relationships or leaving toxic work environments and stuff like that, they go ahead and shrink that comfort zone. And that comfort zone deals a lot with, with your fears. Like some people comfort zone is so small that they've never left the town that they grew up in. And so when I meet people that hadn't left the town that they grew up in, or I'm like, yo, what's the deal? Like, what was so great about Wynne, Arkansas? Sorry. But, yeah, that you decided never to leave. Or, I ain't gonna roast no other places. But it's people that ain't never been out of stupid St. Louis. Hey, it is what it is. Like, you hadn't been out of there, and just like that comfort zone of, hey, you got a passport? Have you ever traveled anywhere? You got some people that just, I'm scared to get on the plane, and if I can't drive there, then I'm not gonna make it. I don't know what to say. There's people that fear starting their business, which it happens all the time. You know inside your heart, if you started to create that model, you've done all the legwork, and all you got to do is either A, submit some papers, or B, just turn the sign over and say open, or launch your website or launch your podcast or whatever. What is it that you're waiting on? Like, if you've already done all the work, what you waiting on? Because the worst anybody can do is tell you no. I tell y'all this, though. The thing that pisses me off the most, and I can say it, I can tell you this because I've been there. It's probably about 4 to 6 years ago. I was in a grocery store with my wife, and we were just hanging out, not doing anything. We weren't even married at the time. We was just hanging out at the grocery store, and I was like, you know what, baby, we need to figure out how we can make some money. It's a whole lot of things out here that people don't want to do that we can make some money off of. I know we can. If I think hard enough, I come up with something. And I was like, you know what? While we in this grocery store, how many people actually like to go grocery shopping? This should work. And we left that grocery store, and I just never touched the thought again. Fast forward 4 years later, she's ordering groceries from some website where somebody's delivering groceries to our doorstep, the stuff that she wants. DoorDash, Postmates, all these other Kroger and Walmart doing the grocery shopping for you. And before any of that took place, I had that idea and I told myself no. I don't know if it was a fear. I told myself no. It's going to be too much to have all that stuff, all these things loaded into the system. I have no idea how I figure out the paying or whatever, or how they was going to pay. And somebody decided, hey, help me do this and I'll figure out the rest. And now they making some weird amount of money that they never going to be able to spend. Fear. Talk myself out of it. We talk fear for a lot of African American males. We fear going to the doctor. We don't want them to touch us. We don't want them to check nothing. We don't want them to give us any bad news. I don't even want them to check my blood pressure. I don't want them to run no tests because they're going to find something else. All stuff that our people be talking about. But we got to go. We got to go. We got to figure out what this bad news is going to be so we can fix it. But we have a fear of going to the doctor because they always got some bad news. They act like a mechanic. You tell the doctor you got something wrong with your ear and he's looking at your ankle. That's the wrong end, brother. You tell the mechanic that I just need to get my tail light changed, and he's under your hood. Bam! Get your ass. You're on the wrong end of the car, brother. He said, blame Tuskegee. Okay. But yeah, like, these are things that we just got to do. New ailment or not, we got to make sure we get all that stuff fixed, so that going to the doctor would no longer be a fear and something that, not that you necessarily got to look forward to, but at the same time, you ain't got a problem with doing. I'm getting close to that age where I got to get all those man checks, those invasive man checks. I hope that they've come up with some new technology that they could just run me through a machine and pull me back out, and they be like, yeah or nah. I don't know why they ain't figured out how not to do this manually. They still I don't need the manual. Run me through the machine. And I don't know if that's a good segue to things that I'm scared of, but we here. And so I've seen some of the stuff y'all said y'all was scared of. My list is a little different, but then again, it's a lot of the same. And things that I'm scared of, I'm scared of animals that I can't tell when they pissed off. I can deal with a lot of animals, but if I don't know when it's pissed off, no. I don't deal with them. Snakes, I don't know when they mad. I've seen a snake bite somebody who the person thought the snake was cool, and then bam, got him in the neck. Can't tell he pissed off. Can't tell that he don't like the smell. Dogs, they growl, they bark, hair stand up on the back of their neck. You know. Cats get a real big arch in their back. You know. It's no secret. Lions, tigers, row. You know. Run. Get your ass home. Don't be out there with them anyway, but still, if you got to be out there, it's time to go. Birds, it's too late. By the time you figure out they mad, you done got nipped with their beak or pecked in the head. You never know. I don't mess with those animals. You figure if a bull start running towards you, you probably need to find somewhere else to be. But by the time they start running, it's too late. They gonna get you. Your bad. You can't stop nothing that big. I don't mess with those animals. I can't tell when they pissed off. That's why I don't like doing a whole lot of swimming, like out in areas that's uncontrolled. I need controlled atmospheres when I'm swimming. Like, I don't feel like a shark is always pissed off. It's probably always hungry, though. I don't want to get ate. Can't tell when they pissed off. Don't know when stingrays pissed off. I just know they hurt people sometimes. Or jellyfish. Not going to be me. No. I have a fear of one day not being able to smell myself. Now, I have a great sense of smell now. I know when I stink. I take about 2 showers a day, even when I don't do anything. I'm a clean person. I've gotten into a habit of taking showers. If I don't take a shower, I don't feel right. But there was a time in which, I get done playing and I was right. Smelled just like, I don't even know what to call it without being crass. But it was horrible. My mom used to have a whole kind of fit. I stunk. I couldn't smell it. I don't know. But I would never want to be that person that thought I was smelling good and it was the opposite. It offended everybody. Or I ain't want to be that type of person that have bad taste in cologne. Like I smelled some perfume the other day that was Naya said it was perfume. I thought it was Wolf. Also, I have a weird fear of my fingers accidentally going through the toilet paper. I don't need to go into a whole lot of detail on that, but I make sure I get a sheet of toilet paper about that long. Fold it again, fold it one more time. You gotta have it good and thick. No accidents. Yeah. But you gotta make sure that your finger don't go through. So you gotta get a longer sheet of paper when you use 1-ply. You gotta use 2-ply, it ain't gotta be that long. It still be that much, but you still gotta fold it because they getting kind of skimpy. Just depending on, like, if you need septic safe toilet paper, then you gotta get a longer sheet because you gotta make sure that finger don't go through. That's all bad. You gotta wash your hands anyway, but if your finger go through, you gotta wash your hands and then you gotta smell it, and then you might have to wash your hands again. You don't want to put doo-doo next to your nose. That's your tip from Mr. 710 today. Also, so I talked about roller coasters. I developed a fear of riding roller coasters back when I was about 9. I was tall enough to get on this roller coaster at Kittyland, but I was still skinny, so the bar net didn't come all the way down to my waist. Down to my thighs or anything. Like, it locked, but it didn't come down to make contact. And so we going around. As we're on our way down, my butt starts coming up out the seat. And my legs hadn't got to the thing yet, hadn't got to the bar yet. So I'm feeling like I'm getting ready to come. I'm thinking I'm getting ready to flip over the bar. I'm holding on as hard as I can. As hard as I possibly can. And after that, I didn't get on another roller coaster for about 16 years. 16 years. And that was the only reason why I did it is because the thing had a strap that came over. It had the two things that came over. Even though I was bigger and I was older and I was tall enough, no. I had to make sure that was strapped in. And I still felt like my legs was going to hit something. Because I was an adult at that time. So, I felt like a little taller than the average person. Thought my legs was going to hit. But roller coasters got me. I don't just get on roller coasters. I don't need that rush. I am also scared of restaurants with empty parking lots. Like, if I go to your restaurant, if I'm thinking about going to your restaurant and that lot is always empty, can't go in. I can't do it. Like, I got lucky with a Chinese food restaurant, which is probably one of the restaurants that you don't want to try if that's the case. But we just happened to find it one day. It was good. And that's our Chinese food place. That's the go-to spot. But before that, like any other place I look at, if they got a whole bunch of lights but ain't no cars in the parking lot on regular going out to eat days, Friday nights, Saturday nights and stuff like that, and your parking lot empty, you either serve breakfast only or your food is trash. And your food could be trash. I'm not judging. Somebody liked it in order for you to open up. See, Mr. Gohar is scared of takeoffs on the airplane too. There's somebody else that was scared of speed. And then once again, I am scared of dirty babies. Dirty babies make me nervous in the worst way. I don't know what it is. I feel like I have a phobia of that. So when the 1-year-old, whenever she gets any little something on her face, on her nose, in her hair, I'm always like quick to the scene trying to wipe it off. try to make sure that she's not a dirty baby. I have a fear of dirty babies because dirty babies always want to touch stuff. They want to put their dirt on you in one way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter if it's in their hair, they want to lay on you. If it's in their nose, they want to give you a kiss. If it's around their face, they want to lay on you. If it's on their hands, they just want to grab something. Get your dirty hands off of everything. You dirty kid. Time to take a shower. Even, I think I'm more expeditious with cleaning her face than I am with her butt. And she be having some massive blowouts. But I got to get that face first. That face is a struggle. The doo-doo, I can take care of as it comes. Like it's keeping you warm. This stuff is making me nervous. Let me see. Scared of spiders? Like, ladies, if a dude is scared of spiders, do you go kill it? And do you judge him later? Like, is there a fear that a dude can have outside of commitment that would run you away? Like if they were scared of spiders or scared of ants or they were scared of werewolves. It's like when it's not shaved, it's like naturally wolfy. Would that scare you away? I'm just trying. I wonder what that is. If they had what was the fear of the phone being out of service? Nomophobia? Feeling like they gonna, gotcha. Feeling like they gonna be without their phone, like being without their phone is gonna be a whole problem. That's dope. I mean, I wonder about these things. I'm gonna wonder about a whole lot of fears after this show. Do some more research and look this stuff up. All of it's interesting to me. Oh, he got bit by one. Oh, that's what it was. He got bit by one, and he had thought it was gonna be the end. But listen, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Y'all been dope as usual. I'm telling you, check out this Crush the Pocket podcast. It's coming soon. We still working on some things in order to get a time together to get it out to you, but we got a lot of good information for you. If you have not already subscribed to the 710 The Slickville Show podcast on any of your podcast streams, go ahead and do that for your boy right now, because we about to get off here, but do that right now. And yeah, we're gonna be ready to rock this thing out. Like I said, we growing that podcast, we growing the show. If you know of anybody that'd like to hear funny stuff or just informative shows like tonight, so bring them on over. Don't be selfish. But until next time, good people, y'all be safe out in these streets. Dress warm, don't get sick, and be careful with those flu shots. You don't know what's in them. I'm out.